He is the host of NFL Game Day Highlights every Sunday on the NFL Network, and this Saturday he will do play-by-play of the Bengals-Vikings game. It is great to visit with Chris Rose. Chris, we are always interested in getting the national perspective of the Cincinnati Bengals. Have you been wowed by what Jake Browning has done over the past couple of weeks?
Absolutely, Dan. I don't think there's a question about it. We were all watching that Ravens-Bengals game, and when Joe Burrow couldn't throw the ball on the sidelines, we were like, okay, we'll see the Bengals in 2024. Well, I guess joke's on everybody else because the Bengals are playing great football. They're actually a very healthy team, and I think they're one of those teams, it only feels like 20 teams in the AFC are at 7-6, and the Bengals are one of them. So Jake Browning can keep doing what he's doing. I have a feeling based on Cincinnati's pedigree over the last couple of years that it might be the Bengals that you do not want to face come mid-January.
So I'm sure as you have prepped to do play-by-play this week, you've learned a lot of things about the Bengals beyond the stars that maybe you didn't know from doing the highlights every Sunday. What stands out to you as you've learned more about this team?
Well, I mean, listen, I knew that they were really young in the secondary, but DJ Turner has done a really nice job. Jordan Battle has now become a starter, so it feels like they've got their secondary for years to come. Chase Brown has added just a different element now that he's touched the ball the last 2 weeks. And then last week, it looks like he was freaking shot out of a cannon. I mean, I have no idea. We all watched that screenplay early on. We're like, what the heck just happened there? He just looked so much faster than everybody else. I was like, they got to get the ball to that guy. And so I expect more of that to happen this weekend.
So with those things in mind, give us a couple of keys to the Bengals getting out of Paycor Stadium on Saturday with a win.
Well, last week, I talked to a good friend of mine who actually works for the Bengals. He reminded me that the Bengals did not give up a sack for the first time in their last 43 games. So if you do that against Danielle Hunter and crew, good deal. Although Jake Browning's been great against blitzes. I just noticed his numbers. He's completing 2/3 of his passes and has put up some pretty gaudy numbers. But you want to make it so that he's not getting a lot of pressure in his face. I would use Chase Brown a ton. I'm a big fan of that kid. I know I like shiny new toys, but I think he's not just a different gear. He's like a different sports car that's been hanging out in the garage with the canvas over it for 2 months. And I think it's going to be really fun to see between Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson which one of those two former great LSU teammates has the better day, because you better believe they both want to shine and outshine the other.
Chris, this has been fun. Look forward to having you back in town on Saturday. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Dan.